Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pitchside. We continue talking to a number of people here in Rabat, of course, who are attending the Transfer Room, program, which is been created to definitely help clubs on the African continent try and market or sell players, and also see how that whole process can be definitely centralized and made easy for African clubs. Joining me on set is one of the most important people in Moroccan football, guys, the General Manager of Wydad Casablanca, Mr. Youssef. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. How are you, my friend?
Happy to have you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Pitchside.
Thank you.
I will get straight to the point. We are here today, one of the clubs that are here to definitely talk about the transfer room and how exciting this project is. How are you able to, be partner or work with transfer room as Yusuf and Wydad Casablanca?
Well, maybe let's first put things a little bit in context.
Yeah,
So, since summer 24,
yeah,
there was a new management team at Wydad Casablanca. So, we are a socio membership club. So, there were elections, and then the president and his board came, and then, of course, I joined. Previously, I was at Fous Rabat, another first division club here in Morocco, and I joined with that. So, when we came at the club, we first of all started analyzing a bit the numbers and the strength of weaknesses of the club. And one of the weaknesses that we found is the transfer, generating transfer. So the stream of generating transfer was not systemic. So one season you had transfer coming, and the other season or 2 seasons you had nothing coming from there. So we started thinking how we could improve that, and how we could put the right processes and tools in order to generate money from transfers. And of course, transfer room came as an obvious solution, because myself, coming from a tech and digital background, for me marketplaces solve a lot of problems. So in transfer room, you are connected and with all the hundreds of clubs out there, and then you can get in touch very easily with football decision makers, and also with agents. And this is very important, and mainly in Africa, because I also lived in West Africa, in Senegal and Ivory Coast, and sometimes it's hard to find the right person to talk to inside the club. And the transfer room, in transfer room, you're sure that you're talking with the people representing the club, or the player.
All right. Have you been able to, sign some players from transfer room? How's the experience like?
Yeah, but I can give you a story, an example of last summer. So Wydad was struggling to find the right back, and in Morocco we have a limitation in terms of foreigners. So we already filled all our spots of foreigners. So it has to be a Moroccan. So and then we used transfer room, and with all the filters, right back, Moroccan citizenship, and also the profile of the right back. We had a classical right back, and we wanted a right back that is more an inverted right back that could enter into the midfield and play the ball, etc. And this is how we found Mohamed Bouchouari, who was playing at Ligue 2 in France, and we brought him like that. And I remember I was working on that. I found the player on August 22nd, and on August 24th the deal was done, because you got access to the right person deciding inside the club, to the right agent of the player, and so the deal was not done very, very smoothly.
All right. Let's move away briefly from, the transfer room. Yusuf, how have you people managed to create a football brand in Morocco, club-wise? Because you and Raja and all the other clubs that play in the CAF Champions League, wherever they travel, everyone is aware of just how much potential they have. What are some of those things that you've done right, apart from the investment from the government and the Royal Kingdom of Morocco? What are those things that you've worked on?
That's true. The brand, as I always said, is already international. I mean, of course, participating and winning Champions League, and also being a participant in the last Club World Cup in the US, and playing against Man City and Juventus, and it increases the brand and make it more global. But I think that this is coming from history, you know. So Wydad was founded in 1937. It was founded by Moroccans in order to fight the colonization. So it has a deep, connection with the Moroccan history, and of course the fans are incredible. So each game we fill the stadium 45 50,000, and I'm quite sure that if the stadium was bigger, we'd have filled it also. Um, so this is something that's related to history, to the Moroccan history, Moroccan tradition. Now we as executives we have to leverage that to continue increasing it. So for example, the signing of Hakim Ziyech,
Yeah.
for example, continue increasing, because there are of course some people in the world that knows Hakim Ziyech but didn't know Wydad. Now they know both, and you create this link and this connection with these people. Now we have to leverage that in order to transform that brand into revenue, and this is something, as I said, is our from a management perspective, it's only our second season. Now we're trying to transform this brand into money coming and to the bank accounts of the club.
Money is very important. How are you able to pay people like Hakim Ziyech, Amrabat, his brother, and have a training base like you do, and all of this? How are you able to sustain the club? What are those things that you work on to?
Of course, we're a club like any other club in the world who have the classical revenue streams. So we have TV rights, which is not. It's only around 5 to 6%. I think
What are the figures? Maybe if you could-
600,000 for a club, 600,000
for every club,
for every club. But
six
for
hundred thousand US dollars.
yes, per year.
And who is the TV rights owner?
It's the SNRT. It's the national public company of Morocco that is paying that to the federation, and then it distributed to the league, and who distributes it equally between the clubs.
Yeah.
But it's, if you compare, for example, with the Premier League, 40% of the revenues, 35% of the revenues of the clubs are generated from TV rights. We're very far behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
5%. It's.
I don't want to mention what Ugandan clubs get. Let's just continue. Yeah.
So this is, so then you have match day. So match day, of course, with our stadium. Now there is a project of building a huge stadium for the 2030 World Cup. Maybe it's not decided yet, but maybe Wydad could play some games there and get and increase their our revenues from a match day perspective. Then you have also all the commercial, and this is something we need to work on. We need at least to, multiply it by 3 or 4 in order to be at the level of what the club can generate. And of course, there is the prize money from CAF competitions. We are seeing that there is a trend of CAF increasing the prize money. So that's something that is very interesting for us from a club perspective. And finally, and last but not least, is the net transfer trading revenue.
Of some players.
If you analyze, for example, the Portuguese clubs, they generated hundreds of millions, almost a billion in the last 5 years. For Benfica, and from other clubs, but mainly Benfica. And Benfica, what they're doing, we want to not to copy, but to get inspired by their model.
Yeah.
In bringing, because they bring Brazilian players to Portugal, and then they sell it much
Europe.
higher
Yeah.
to Europe. And Morocco and Wydad has something to play in that by bringing the best African talents to play. And we started that. We launched an initiative called Wydad to Africa, uh, in order to bring the best youth African talent between the age of 18 and maximum 21, so they can have sporting impact on the team, and then generate financial resources for the club.
For the club. Give or take, what's Wydad's budget a season? Give or take. And the wage bill, give or take.
15 million per year, 15 million dollar.
Wydad's budget a season is 15 million US dollars.
Yes, but we still, it might appear a lot from an African perspective,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna give you some figures.
Yeah.
When we played Manchester City,
Yeah.
even with this 15, we were 1.5% of their budget, 1.5%.
Yeah.
Juventus 3% of their budget. So we as Africans, if we want to dominate football, because the future of football is in Africa and will be in Africa, okay? So we need to reduce that gap, okay? And why? There are several ways of doing that, but maybe bringing foreign investment with keeping the control of our clubs. It's maybe by structuring our clubs better. It's maybe by selling and promoting, and marketization is also very important of African player. And this has to go through the leagues also, that has to play their roles.
Okay, we're concluding, and please understand, I'm just trying to, really understand the Wydad modern concept for people out there to also, appreciate and understand how much you guys are trying to make sure this club operates. We've had a high turnover of coaches in the Maghreb region. When you go to Egypt, when you go to even Morocco, there's that tendency of a coach comes in, they're trying to settle in, and before we know it, you guys probably don't mind if you spend extra money to terminate the contract and pay them their benefits and go. Why do we have that turnaround? I'll actually go to, Coach Rolani Mokowena at Wydad. Yes. I felt he had started a system, he was trying to do something, but each time you watch press conferences, journalists, actually fans, and they are calling him out and demanding him to play Yusuf and Peter and all of this. What's your take on that, man? Doesn't seem like it's a good thing.
I think it's not. There is some relation with the culture, but also for me, the link is with the club and how big the pressure is in the club. So, for example, in Morocco, you have clubs. For example, I will give you. It's my former club, FUS Rabat. Yeah. The Walid Regragui, the national team coach now, he spent 6 years there.
Oh yeah, he did.
Jamal Salami, who achieved the final of the Arab Cup with Jordan, he spent 3 years at FUS, because FUS, it's another model. There is no pressure, but of course, and I was discussing with my friend Hersi from Young Africans, and people with pressure. If you lose 3 games in a row, even 2 sometimes, it's it's hard. And also, I think the third explanation, it has to, it's linked to the ownership model. When the clubs are privately owned, you can be patient because it's your club. For example, maybe if you analyze analyze the statistics in South Africa, because there is the private ownership, the clubs will tend to be more on the decision maker, will tend to be more patient because there is no direct pressure, let's say. But we at Wydad, for example, we are a socio model, because sometimes if you're not taking the decision, I'm not saying that it's the good thing to do, but I'm just giving some explanation,
some context.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your message to the world? Morocco is hosting AFCON. I was at the Mole Abdallah Stadium. Insane stadium, really top notch. What's your take on Africa coming to Morocco, and what should they expect?
Well, historically Morocco was always linked to Africa, so for me it's natural that we welcome the whole continent here. I think that you were welcomed, isn't it, Peter? Huh? Yeah. So even if it's too cold for you, you mentioned, but I mean,
Extremely.
we
I'm
didn't
struggling.
we didn't manage to control the temperature outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think, as I said, the future of football is in Africa. We have to work together from an Pan-African. I was always a defender of Pan-Africanism and Pan-African vision of doing things. And I think in football, it's important to do things together. For me, for example, we have to push for this adjustment in the FIFA rules. You know, inside the UEFA zone, you can transfer players starting inside the UEFA, starting from the age of 16.
Yeah.
But inside CAF, it's not possible. You have to wait at the age of 18. So for me, as a Moroccan club, if I'm interested in a youth prospect in Uganda, I will be fighting against a Spanish club or a French club. I don't have any advantage of being in the CAF Confederation. So this is something that we need to also work on it, and we need to lobby to change things. And of course, sharing knowledge, of course, and connecting. And that's why I'm here with you, Peter, in order to do that.
All right, Yusuf, I know you're a very busy man.
Thank you, my friend.
I think the best thing would be me coming by, the setup of Wydad.
Of course, you're welcome.
The training base.
Yeah.
And then we have maybe give me a tour.
Of course,
of
you're
the
more than
training
welcome.
base.
You're more than welcome.
And I'll definitely love it. All
You're
right.
welcome.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Mr.
my friend. Thank
General
you.
Manager
Thank you. Thank
Yusuf from Wydad Casablanca. We've had a very short but insightful discussion about a couple of things. Most importantly, the transfer room, where, of course, clubs have the opportunity to make sure that they sign players rightly and engage with the right parties. I keep telling you this, that you who is watching Pitchside right now, you only need half a second to subscribe and be part of this big family. Why? Because we bring you big stories on the African continent as regards to African football. And I can tell you for sure that now that we're in Morocco covering the AFCON 2025, we have the privilege and honor to talk to several people and understand what they are up to. Today on Pitchside, I'm catching up with TransferRoom, an initiative that is spreading across the world, but specifically on the African continent, a platform where the target is to help clubs out there on the African continent. Is the process of signing players and do lots of other things. I'm not going to do this alone. I'm joined by the vice president of TransferRoom. That's how big we go Pitchside. Yeah, absolutely. Frederick Broholt joins me on Pitchside. Frederick, it's an honor to have you on Pitchside.
Thank you, Peter.
How excited are you, first of all, about the AFCON 2025 here in Morocco?
I am very excited, I must say. It's a pleasure to be here in Africa and experience this tournament firsthand. I have high hopes for the host nation, Morocco. I think they'll do very well. And just being in Rabat yesterday with the opening game and experiencing the atmosphere, seeing all the people celebrating, and obviously Morocco getting off to a great start with a 2-0 win was very nice.
I mean, you've been on the African continent for a minute now. What are those things that have captivated you with African football? What did you pick out and say, I've been here and I've noticed this, and I've been here, I've noticed that?
Yeah, I think the primary thing that really stands out is the fans, but definitely the passion of the fans. I think the passion that Africans have for football is very, very big, and all the way up there, like it is with some of the other very football fanatic countries in the world. Yeah. I think the passion is there, and there's no doubt that for people, football means a lot. It's a way of identifying to something, and obviously Africa has a lot to be proud of. You just need to look at some of the current players, whether that's Mo Salah or Osimhen, or some of the previous ones throughout history, Vea, Didier Drogba, Samuel Eto'o. There's a lot of names. So Africa and football go very well hand in hand.
All right. So today we're here, and we've, of course, tried to catch up on the transfer room and this project that you're trying to do. Maybe expound more on what is happening.
Sure. So TransferRoom is a digital online marketplace for transfers. Yeah. It was started in 2017, went fully live in 2019, and today we work with more than 850 clubs from around the world and more than 600 agencies. So we have nearly 1,500 active clubs and agencies using the platform. And the main proposition of the platform is that for clubs and agents and players, you can see real-time market intelligence. So what players are available, what's the asking price, what salary requirements. You can declare your interest in the players, you can pitch the players. So ultimately, TransferRoom facilitates that transfer of football players. And the second part is that it allows the users to connect with the real decision makers. Often in football, it can be quite difficult to understand who is the sporting director or technical director or general manager in a club that I need to engage with. Yeah. So if you're a club in Morocco, you can connect directly with the decision maker at a club in Colombia or Poland, which is otherwise very difficult.
But maybe for someone who is in East Africa, maybe Uganda, what would you want to tell them about this initiative and how can they be a part of it?
Yeah, so what's happening here in Rabat at this event where you and I are sitting now is almost the offline or the analog version of the platform. So on the platform, which obviously in the digital form, you do all those things I talked about before, but we also do in-person events like this one. And this is where we bring all the decision makers together. They get to listen to and see key insights and content like the presentations before and the panel debate. You have one-on-one meetings, almost like speed dating, but where the general manager from Wydad Casablanca can meet with the sporting director of a European club or another African club to talk about transfers. The window is opening right around the corner, so you can connect, you can build your network, you can do deals in real life. And you could have lots of those one-on-one meetings.
To someone who is trying to be part of the transfer room, just expound on how clubs can best benefit from this setup. You know, because the European setup is different from the African setup. There are things that maybe clubs don't know that they have to really, really do to be able to ease the process of signing players across the world and not only the continent. So what are those take homes that you would break down for someone who wants to be a part of the transfer room?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question, and it's connected to that value I was trying to explain before. So basically, because TransferRoom works with more than 850 clubs globally today, that means you have an opportunity. If you're an African club from Uganda or from Tanzania, you have an opportunity to be on the platform and use the platform to either recruit new players, so buy new players, or sell the talent that you're developing in your club and your academy. And this means that your club and your needs are exposed to a global audience. Otherwise, it can be very difficult for a club in Uganda or anywhere else to tap into the full global market because your abilities are typically limited to the contact books you have on your telephone and the people you know, and you don't know everyone in football. But when you can connect with so many clubs and agents on TransferRoom, it expands your opportunities. So whether you're looking to buy a new player, loan out a player, recruit a new player, whether it's a paid transfer or transfer free, you can do all of that on TransferRoom. You can create an ad. Let's say you're looking for a new center back or a new striker. You create an ad. You can specify how much you can pay. You can specify if it's for a loan only, the specific skills, and then all the other clubs are on the platform can see that, and they can share players that fit the ad, and you can declare an interest, and then you can basically negotiate. So it's not different from, I'm sure, other online platforms in Uganda that you use to buy things.
Yeah. So does a club register? What's the process to be a part of the transfer room? Is there a fee? What is the entire process?
Yeah, so there is, you can only access the platform and all the proprietary data and insights you find on the platform if you're a customer. So, and in order to be a customer, you need to register and become part of the TransferRoom family, so to speak. TransferRoom charges a subscription. So if you're a club, there's an annual fee that you pay, but that fee gives you access to all the information on the platform and all the features and functionalities. Plus, it also gives you access to events like these ones. And it's an annual fee. TransferRoom doesn't charge any commission on transfers or anything else. We are here to support clubs and agents and players with the data and insights, but we don't take any part in whether you buy or transfer a player to one side or the other. We just facilitate all of that on the market.
How much is the fee?
So that the fee varies. I can't say the specific numbers right here, but depending on what type of club you are and what league you play in, it will vary. So as an example, if you are Manchester United or Chelsea who play in the Premier League, which is the strongest league in the world and the league with the most financial resources, the price that you pay for a TransferRoom subscription is different than if you are Wydad Casablanca or a club in Uganda. So it varies.
Do you plan on coming, for example, to Uganda and talking to clubs and convincing them to be a part of the setup? What's the plan?
Yeah, so TransferRoom doesn't sleep, and football doesn't sleep either in transfer. So we are very active and always engaging both with our existing customers, but also any clubs and agents that wish to join the platform. It's an online, it's a digital solution, as I said. So we don't have physical offices in the markets, but we have a lot of very good TransferRoom employees and representatives that cover different markets. And we also have representatives that focus on Africa and the Middle East. So we're very happy to have conversations with any clubs who might want to hear more about TransferRoom or who are interested in joining the platform.
What are the social media platforms that you're on? And tell people out there how they can reach the TransferRoom.
Yes, so there's a lot of different social media platforms. We are active on Twitter, we're active on LinkedIn, we're active on Instagram, and then there's obviously TransferRoom's own website where you can also go, and if you want to hear more and learn more, there's an option on the website for clubs and for agents to understand it better. And as soon as you submit your interest, so to speak, there will be a representative who makes sure they will reach out to you.
All right. It's been a pleasure catching up with you. Thank you very much for the insights on the TransferRoom. Guys, clubs out there in Uganda, Pitchside has definitely and try to make sure that they bring it to you to know how you can easily market, sell your players, and of course make sure that you make business in football, and that's pretty exciting. Like he's explained, man, you really need to join TransferRoom and have a very good experience. Uganda, are you coming soon? Should people expect you guys?
You can expect us very, very soon. We're already in several countries in Africa today. We'd love to have a strong footprint in Uganda. So if you want to have us, we'd very much like to come.
All right. Guys, like I keep telling you guys, please always keep it pitchside. Please subscribe. Cheers.